one of the questions that we are asked all the time is, how much does a divorce cost in the UK? It depends is of course the answer, but there are some things that are going to drive the cost up and some that will keep things more manageable for you. You're going to have to pay the court fee of £612. These days, divorce is done online. There's a government website. If you type in divorce.gov, you will get to it. If you end up at a website that seems to want you to pay more than £612, then you are on the wrong website and it's possibly a scammy one. If only becoming unmarried is your thing, then it will cost you £612. However, I'm going to make an assumption that you are in a situation perhaps with a difficult person who may not want to help you out with getting a divorce, or who is going to be very difficult about the children or very difficult about financial matters. And of course, that is definitely going to drive the cost up. If for any reason you don't want to do the actual divorce part yourself, then it's likely that you will either need to hire perhaps a Mackenzie friend to guide you through, or you will want a solicitor. If you get a solicitor, then you are of course protected by the codes and regulations and ethics of the solicitor's profession. If your divorce is being run by your solicitor in total, then it's likely that they'll either be offering you a fixed fee. Ours is £900 plus VAT. Always check for VAT with solicitor's costs. Alternatively, they might be doing it on the hourly rate. An hourly rate lawyer is probably going to be anywhere between £200, top whack in London, £1,000 an hour. But I would have thought somebody in the region of £200 to £300 an hour is an appropriate level of lawyer to be doing divorce proceedings. Of course, at that point, you're looking at several £1,000s probably for the divorce itself. I think it would be unusual these days for a person who just wants to get a divorce to need a lawyer's help with that at all. The online gov.divorce, or whatever it's called, system is really good, it's really simple, and you only need to pay the £612. The only thing I would be cautious of is if you're in a situation where you have what's called an old school divorce, an old style divorce, or also known as a legacy divorce. So a legacy divorce is under the old regulations where you had to choose 5 factors. You had to pick a fact that underpinned your divorce, and adultery, unreasonable behaviour, all of that. Now that stopped in 2022, but there's lots of people out there whose divorces will be from that era, but for one reason or another, they stopped halfway through. There are various things you could do to untangle that, and you're definitely going to need a solicitor. And if I could suggest one who is of a certain vintage to untangle it. Newly minted solicitors will not be familiar with the system at all, and so you would be well advised to get somebody who at least looks as old as me. So on that basis, I would say that a divorce can cost you anywhere from £612 to many thousands of pounds, but, and these are topics for other videos, you really want to think about the money or the children issues, and if you've got a very difficult partner or ex-partner that you're trying to separate from, the reality is that the real question is, how much does my getting my financial situation sorted out cost, or how much would my financial remedy proceedings cost? In terms of factors that might drive cost up, obviously ringing your lawyer every 5 minutes. If you're on the clock, that's going to ramp costs up. Don't forget, if you're on a low income, particularly if you are in receipt of universal credit, it's really worth looking into whether you can be eligible for what's called fee remission, at which point you won't have to pay the court fees at all, which of course is a great help, because £612 for a divorce is quite a lot of money. So divorce has variable costs. You can keep it simple. If you're in the new system, if you and your ex agree to do a joint divorce, will cost you the £612, or of course it will simply be free if you're eligible on universal credit for what's called fee remission. Right down at the other end of the spectrum, you could have a lawyer untangle things for you. That lawyer might be untangling either a difficult ex who just doesn't want to sign things, and that you probably would need a lawyer's help for, at which point you could be looking for several £1,000s. Alternatively, if you're in a legacy system, so this is a pre-2022 divorce, you are going to need a lawyer's help, and I would anticipate you may well be into somewhere between £2,000 even to £4,000 plus VAT. They say you can have it done right, you can have it done cheap, you can have it done on time, but pick any two. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been useful. Check out some of our other videos on all of these topics, and if you could like and hit the subscribe button, particularly if you're in a situation where you need ongoing advice, then you'll probably find this channel really helpful.